Ladies and gentlemen, it is February the 5th, 2018, and this is the Ovatyme Sports Show. Oh, man, that's been a hell of a weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you've been living under a rock, under a small tree or something like that, but we had ourselves a Super Bowl on Sunday. A really, 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 really good Super Bowl. Well, before I get to that, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is your boy, James, a.k.a. Hollywood J. Blaq, doing it solo tonight because Mr. Syn is at work doing God knows what. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to show up tonight because, you know, his Patriots did lose, and he said something about since they benched Malcolm Butler, he was going to kill Matt Patricia's whole family or something. I don't know. I don't want to go into details about that. It's fine, though, because we're doing a solo dolo tonight. And you know I can do a solo dolo. It's all good. But enough about me. We all know who I am. Let's get to talking about what happened this weekend on Super Bowl Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, in an upset, I couldn't even really call it an upset. To me, myself, I mean, I picked the Patriots to beat the Eagles. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I thought to myself when we predicted this game that two really, really good defenses, and Bill Belichick knowing how to adjust and make adjustments regarding this defense, that we were going to be seeing a defensive game. I thought to myself that this might end up actually being a very offensive game. Tom Brady knows how to put up points. The Eagles, even Nick Foles knows how to put up points, and they put up points against the number 2 defense in the NFL. In Minnesota 2 weeks ago. So we already predicted and kind of figured out this might be an offensive game, but I didn't think it was going to be anything like this. As ladies and gentlemen, your winner of Super Bowl 52, and the first time ever this franchise has won a championship, the Philadelphia Eagles. I didn't say Philadelphia yet. Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to Philly for winning their first championship. You got to give a slow clap to that one. Now, don't get me wrong. It was a hell of a game. It was a very winnable game by the New England Patriots. In fact, if the defense had actually showed up in 2 or 3 crucial moments, we would be talking about Tom Brady winning his 6th championship. I'm sorry. But there's no denying that Philadelphia, for the most part, they played 60 minutes of great football. They didn't let their foot off the throat like Jacksonville did the week prior. They didn't let their foot off the throat like Atlanta did. They didn't let Tom Brady beat them in the end. They had a sound game plan. They had the defense, for the most part, execute what they were planning on doing. But in the end, it just wasn't enough for New England. New England made one crucial mistake. And you know that New England does not make mistakes. And that is the crazy part about this, is that it took New England to make a very, very crucial mistake in order for this game to really happen and go down the way that it did. And because it went down the way that it did, the Philadelphia Eagles won. I mean, you can't really say that. You can't say that Tom Brady was sorry. How does a quarterback throw for 400-plus yards be sorry? You can't say that. How does a quarterback that, for the most part, for the whole entire game was untouched? The sack on Tom Brady was the only sack in the entire game. The only sack in the entire game. Both teams, for the most part, played mistake-free football, which is something that you haven't seen in the last few Super Bowls. It's just that last play, that last fumble, that's all it took. that changed everything, changed the entire complexion of the game. I figured when we got to it, we were going to see Tom Brady drive down the field, do what he does, and win that game. They had the game plan. I don't know if anybody knows the game plan, but this is what I saw. Gronk wasn't really involved in the game until the fourth quarter. Yeah, he had some blocking, kind of did his thing, but he wasn't really involved in the offensive scheming until the fourth quarter. That's because if you look throughout the entire game, Tom Brady busted his butt. Rob Gronkowski busted his butt blocking. And when he was on receiver, he was mainly a decoy, stretching out the linebackers, doing his thing. Can't believe it. I can't really believe I'm saying that the Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champions. They finally got a Super Bowl after years of a drought. I know that one quarterback couldn't do it back in the 70s. Donovan McNabb couldn't do it in the 2000s. It took Nick Foles in order for the Philadelphia Eagles to be a Super Bowl champions. So the question that we have now is where do we go from here? I mean, Tom Brady is about to touch on 40. He's he's healthy. He didn't get injured this season. He's straight. He's fine. Matt Patricia is going to be the head coach of the Detroit Lions. Josh McDaniels is going to be the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Where do we go from here, ladies and gentlemen? I have no flipping idea where we go from here. But I can tell you this. I can really, really honestly tell you this. Hold on a second. T, are you okay? What's wrong? What's wrong? You gotta use the bathroom? You're itching? Oh, take them off. It's fine. Here, stage is right there. Sorry. Things happen when you're live. My daughter needs to be taken care of. Go with stage real quick, mama. All right. Sorry about that. However, all right. So where do we go from here? The New England Patriots aren't going to be the same. The Philadelphia Eagles have some decisions to make with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. I mean, Nick Foles was a backup. This reminds me of 1991 with Jeff Hostetler, and Jeff Hostetler winning the Super Bowl, beating the Buffalo Bills. I have no idea where neither of these teams go, but I can rest assured that it makes me wonder if it's going to take not Tom Brady, if it's going to take the Patriots another couple of years in the AFC, in order to get back into it, because they're going to have to adjust into a entirely new coaching staff. And it's not like they're going to be, they're going to be some brand new, because remember after Charlie Weiss left and Romeo Crennel left, they completely changed. They completely changed the entire game. Will I think Josh McDaniels be successful in Indianapolis? I don't know. I think Andrew Luck is too volatile for them to be successful. Will Matt Patricia be successful in Detroit? I don't know. Detroit's defense has always been legit, so I don't know what Matt Patricia is going to bring to the table that nobody else has. They're also in the toughest division in football. Nick Foles is going to get paid. Carson Wentz is going to come back and run that team. The biggest question mark now is, what is the legacy of Bill Belichick now? I mean, and because we got to really talk about this other thing too. They benched Malcolm Butler, their number one corner, the Super Bowl hero from 3 years ago. They benched him, put him on a shelf. Bill Belichick in a press conference today says, and I quote, that they make football decisions and they base off of football decisions off of who they feel is going to be best to win that game for them. Well, here's the problem. Your number one corner. Okay, they had Stephen Gilmore and Alshon Jeffrey. So for the most part, Alshon Jeffrey was held in check. Nelson Aguilar got his little, ins and outs. The rookie corner got burned so much by Chris Clement over and over and over again. Twice on touchdowns. It was bad. It was horrible. I can't even describe to you how bad this was, but it was. I don't know. The landscape is changing fast in the AFC, and the landscape is changing fast in actually the entire National Football League. Don't be surprised, and it sucks for me to have to say this, especially with my boy Big Syn watching. But don't be surprised if Tom Brady hits the Brett Favre wall next year. Well, I can't say Tom Brady. If the Patriots hit the wall next year, and Tom Brady ends up retiring. But if he retires, he will still go down. And people are going to be mad at me when I say this. He will still go down as the greatest quarterback of our generation. Period. There's not even a discussion that'll be made. Again, I am a Joe Montana homer. I have my throwback Joe Montana jersey sitting in there. But I will be the first to tell you that Tom Brady winning 5 Super Bowls, going to 8 of them. No other team has ever done that in a generational back. The only team that's ever come close to going back to back are the Buffalo Bills, and they lost all 4. Tom Brady in this generation will go down as the greatest quarterback of our generation, possibly even all time. Montana only has his 4 rings. Montana's my dude. I love Joe Montana. I think Aikman only has 2. Bradshaw has 4. He has more rings than any quarterback in the NFL right now. Period. He has more quarterbacks than any quarterback in NFL history right now. Period. He puts on the greatest performance in NFL history in a quarterback, and had he won the game, do you imagine if he had won this game, he would have had the NFL MVP, the number 1 passer in the NFL, possibly Super Bowl MVP with his performance, and would have won a Super Bowl trophy. That was the big if that all this surrounded, but it didn't come up to be, and that's fine. Just because you have a feeling about how you think about Tom Brady does not discount his performance, does not discount what he has done. And again, this is coming from a diehard 49ers fan. I promise you, this isn't a joke. This isn't a game. This isn't me just blowing smoke up of everybody else. The fact of the matter is that Tom Brady done his thing. And if he goes out right now, if he says, fuck it, I'm retired, I'm done, he will still go down as the greatest quarterback of our generation, and you can take that to the bank. Now, probably for some more commentary, I know my boy Big Syn hopefully will be back tomorrow. So that's going to be straight on that. So now let's talk about something that's really, really been going down. I never got the chance to talk about this. It's funny because I ask my boy Syn all the time, and I say this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. My dude, what the hell is wrong with the Cavs? What is wrong with the Cleveland Cavaliers, bruh? I can't even deal right now with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's take a look at this. Yes, Cleveland is still the number 3 seed. Actually, let me check this out. They're still on top of the thing. They're number 3 seed. Last week, they were number 2. They were number 4 seed. They were behind Milwaukee. They were number 4 seed for a minute. They didn't even have control of their own division. Now look at this. All right, so let's talk about this for a second. I really want to talk about this for a second because the Cleveland Cavaliers have been on a downward spiral. Let me explain how this has gone. So they lost to the. So let's take a look at their last 10 games. They lost to the Rockets. They lost to the Pistons. They then beat the Pistons, beat the Pacers, lost to the Spurs, lost to the Thunder, barely squeaked by the Magic, lost to the Pacers, barely squeaked by the Heat, and lost to the Warriors. That puts them at 4-6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That puts them at 4-6 for the last 10 games. They only beat the Heat, the Pacers, the Magic. The Heat, the Pacers, the Magic, and the Pistons in the last 10 games. They have an upcoming schedule that includes the Magic again, the Timberwolves, the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. They got to face a defensively stout Timberwolves team. Then the Celtics. Then the Hawks, which they could probably squeak out a win. And then they got to play the Celtics in Boston. And that's not even talking about the rematch with the Wizards. No, I'm sorry, the rematch with the Thunder, the Wizards, the Grizz, the Spurs again, an upcoming Nets team, a hungry Sixers team, and a Nuggets team that beat Golden State. I can't even tell you right now. I was just like, the Cavaliers, LeBron. I mean, it's so bad that there's rumors of LeBron being traded by the All-Star break. There's those rumors. Those rumors are being started right now. What is wrong with the Cavaliers? I wish somebody, if anybody's out there, if anybody can see, I just have one question. What is wrong with the Cavaliers? Feel free to drop me a comment on this thing and tell me, please, what is wrong with the Cleveland Cavaliers? I can't even understand it. I don't know why. I mean, there's probably a good reason why, but I can't find it. I've looked. I looked high. I've looked low. I looked under rocks. I looked in the sky. I cannot determine what is wrong with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but I tell you what I do know is that if the Cleveland Cavaliers don't get their shit together, that they're going to be the 4th and possibly 5th seed, because right now, as it stands, let's take a look at this. Toronto has a better record than Cleveland. Miami is creeping up on them. Miami is about a game back. Milwaukee's a game back. I mean, Milwaukee's been on a roll. They've been on a smooth roll. Indiana's creeping behind them. Philly's even out at 25-25. If Cleveland doesn't get their ish together, they can literally end up being a 5th or possibly 6th seed and probably getting bounced out of the playoffs. Wouldn't that be something? The Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron's Cleveland Cavaliers, bounced out of the playoffs. So we go to this debate. We always go to this Jordan, Pippen. I mean, the Jordan LeBron debate. We always come to this debate, and they always somebody says, "Oh, is Jordan better than LeBron? Is LeBron better than Jordan?" Blah 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 blah. So now we're coming into things that Jordan did that LeBron hasn't done, or LeBron's things that LeBron has done or Jordan hasn't did, and let's break it down into a simple science. Now, Michael Jordan, in his championship runs, has never, ever let his Chicago Bulls ever fall to a 3rd or possibly 4th seed. Ever. Period. They've always been the top number 1 or number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Always. When they lost twice to the Pistons, they were the number. Actually, let me rephrase that. When they lost twice to the Pistons, they were the number 4 seed. No, I'm sorry, they were the number 2 seed. Number 2 seed. Sorry. When the championship after that, they were always a number 1 seed. They were a number 3 seed when Jordan retired, and then when he came back, And full time, number 1 seed again, 72-10. So while you want to actually question here and say, is LeBron great or how's LeBron legacy? Let's look at the scales. And you realize that Jordan has built his legacy off of winning. Whereas LeBron seemingly has built his legacy off of whining. And it's sad for me because this is coming from a LeBron fan. An old LeBron fan. I used to be a huge fan of LeBron James back in 2003, 2004. But I realized a lot of things, especially after the first transition when he went over to Miami and he failed the first time. He realized that what he failed to realize is that teams are coming to chase him, whether they're chasing his rings, whether they're chasing his legacy, or as a notch in the belt to say that they beat LeBron James. They come at you, and they come at you hard. Why you think Giannis Antetokounmpo is developing as fast as the way he is? Why do you think that the West is just stocked with talent? Because they know that eventually they're going to probably have to meet LeBron, but now that may not even be the case. Now we're looking at, Kyrie in Boston. Boston is the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. The Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are the best team in the Eastern Conference. Right now, as it stands, Golden State is the best team in the Western Conference. And they're 2 games over Boston. Houston's creeping up. You see what Houston can do to Cleveland. They decimated them. They embarrassed them. They shamed them. They did everything that they can and then some. But, Minnesota is coming for that ass. 2 games. Minnesota is coming for that ass, and it's not going to be pretty. All I can really tell you is this. Cleveland fans, you guys should just help LeBron pack his stuff because that boy is going to be gone. See ya. That's real shit. Sorry, but it is what it is. All right, now I've done talked and I done blabbed my mouth a little bit. Now let's get to the scores, the rundown today. So, in case you wanted to know, the Magic beat the Heat off a last-second dunk by Jonathan Simmons, 111-109. The Nuggets beat the Hornets 107-92. The Nuggets have been on one hell of a run. Nikola Jokic I don't know if you guys know about him, but he plays ball. The boy is a baller for sure. The Pistons stomped off all over the Trailblazers, 111-91. Blake Griffin is balling out over there in Detroit. The Wizards beating the John Wall's Wizards. Here's something. They're playing some really, really good inspired ball without John Wall. They beat the Pacers. That's something. It's really something. The Jazz beating the Pelicans 133-109. A-Town stomping them all over the place. And now we got a couple of couple games in progress right now. On NBA TV, you can watch on Players Only. The Clippers are right now beating the Mavericks 20-11. And the Chicago Bulls are beating the Kings 42-27. I'm sorry, right? 43-28. All right, now let's go into a little bit of NHL news real quick. I promise I won't bother you too much about it. All right, so we have 4 games on deck for the NHL. We had the Stars beating the Rangers 2-1. The Oilers beating the Lightning 4-1. The Maple Leafs beating the Ducks 7-4. And the Predators beating the Islanders 5-4. So, there's only one question we got to ask you. It's been an interesting weekend in sports. It really has. I'm really, really happy for Tom Brady. Not Tom Brady. I'm really, really happy for Philadelphia. I'm sad for Tom Brady because I wanted in my lifetime to see something that, something new, something that nobody's ever seen before. Somebody that we can all say, you know what? I lived to actually see that happen. I wanted to be able to see Tom Brady break that record. And as much as I love the fact I want my Niners to get the quest for 6, and as much as I believe in Jimmy Garoppolo, and believe the Niners actually have a legitimate shot at being a championship contender, thanks to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, I really, really wanted to see what would happen, and if Tom Brady got ring number 6 to complete a legacy that, again, nobody has ever seen in my lifetime. Nobody's ever seen in the previous generation, because remember, football's only been around for so long. But we got to look at it like this. This is, and I hope this kind of deads it. We actually did get to see a great moment, because the Philadelphia Eagles and that city of Philadelphia first time they've won a championship in a minute. I think the Flyers, I want to be right, the Flyers was the last team to win a championship for Philadelphia. So, congratulations. They deserve it again. My most respect. I doubted them. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say I didn't. I doubted them for a while, but they proved me wrong. They proved everybody else wrong. They did it, and that's really all I can say about it. It is what it is. So, hopefully tomorrow, Big Syn comes back and we get to talk a little bit more about the Super Bowl. I really, really would like his insight on this. It's I can do this by myself all day, but I need my mans to get this cracking. So with that said, if you like what you see and you think that Sinful Blaq Entertainment is the thing for you, you enjoy our broadcast, you enjoy the Ovatyme Sports Show, then what you need to do is you need to give us a holler. What you need to go ahead and do is find us in our multitude of social media sites. First off, we got to start with of course, Facebook. Facebook is the main page. Sinful Blaq Entertainment. Just follow SYNFULBLAQENT. And you'll see everything that Sinful Blaq Entertainment has to offer, including the Ovatyme Sports Show and Off the Rails. Now, we were supposed to do an Off the Rails on Friday. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I just wasn't feeling it. With me, the whole thing is I gotta be in a certain type of mood to do Off the Rails, and if I'm not in that mood, I'm just not gonna do it. I apologize, but I will try to do an Off the Rails show Friday, because we really need to. We got a lot to talk about. Plus, I think it's time we bring back bad relationship advice right in time for Valentine's Day. The couples are out there. So we got to do that. Also, we have YouTube. YouTube is where the Facebook page is supposed to bring you to. If you're find us on YouTube, it's SYNFULBLAQENT. Find us on there. And you'll see all the other crazy shenanigans that we just got to get into. My boy Big Syn has a new weekly episodic event called the Jeremiah Irwin the Monster Hunter. You definitely got to check that out. That's some seriously funny shit right there. If you're down to see something funny, you got to watch that. That's for sure. Also, too, find us on Twitter, where you'll find us turning up memes and everything else on there. You can find us on Instagram. And we're even working on a Snapchat to post crazy ass shit from. So, other than that, that's about it. So, again, I'm Hollywood J. Blaq. This is the Ovatyme Sports Show, and I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you watching. Throw down with us on a weekly basis. If you have a question, comment, or concern, please let us know. Again, the question I hope people can answer on the comments on either YouTube or on Facebook is, what the hell is wrong with the Cleveland Cavaliers? We'll talk about it. Until then, I'm out this bitch. Deuces.